everybody and welcome. Today I'm using this stamp set called The Year of the Tiger, which is a new release from Crafty Meraki this month. I've gone ahead and stamped all the images onto a white cardstock, and I'm going to just pick a couple of images from this stamp set. The two tigers, of course it's the Year of the Tiger, so I'm going to pick up the two tigers and a couple of lanterns from this stamp set, and I'm just going to color them using some Copic markers. I'm keeping the coloring very simple. I've chosen only 3 different color families, the brown for the animals, the reds for the clothing, some blues and some yellows, and that's pretty much it. I thought instead of explaining how I'm coloring, because as I said the coloring is very simple, I thought I'll give you some fun facts about the Chinese New Year. So the Chinese New Year is also known as the Lunar New Year, because the Chinese calendar is based on the Chinese lunar calendar. And usually the Chinese, not usually, always, Chinese lunar calendar is about 21 to 51 days behind the international standard calendar. And that's the reason why the Chinese New Year falls anywhere between the 21st of January to Feb 20th. And this year it is on Feb 1st, because it also depends on the phases of the moon. That means to say the lunar year the Chinese New Year, starts on the new moon, and the new moon is Feb 1st. And the Chinese New Year goes about 15 days long. So that means to say it starts on the new moon and it ends on the full moon, which is the 15th of February. And also that's about 15 days. And the Feb 15th, which is the full moon, is also the Lantern Festival. So it starts with the Chinese New Year, which is the Lunar New Year, and it ends with the Lantern Festival, which is going to be the February 15th. And the other thing is the Chinese New Year actually, so here's the thing. Usually, the question arises, what do the Chinese call the January 1st? Because that's also a new year, right? January 1st, the Chinese call it the first dawn. And the actual Chinese New Year is either known as the Lunar New Year or the Spring Festival. And that's because according to the Chinese, the 24 solar terms, Feb 4th is the first day of spring. So based on that is a spring festival, or the welcoming of the spring after the winter is all done. Though seasonally winter is really not done. Technically winter is not done in China until another month to go, just like it would be in the United States, which is in March. But the solar terms in the Chinese calendar, there are 24 solar terms. There are multiple solar terms. I don't quite remember most of them. There's a rainwater term and things like that. And the spring term, the spring falls on Feb 4th, or the beginning of the year, and that's, or beginning of February, and that's the other reason why the Chinese New Year is also called the Spring Festival. Another fun fact is red color is absolutely one of the most prominent color during the Chinese New Year, and red is believed as lucky. So people actually give gifts or money in those red envelopes in order to bless other people with that goodwill or good luck. And if you notice at the end of this video, you will see the picture of the video card, and I have actually created a red envelope, keeping that aspect in mind, as prosperity is a big part of the Chinese New Year. What else did I wanted to tell you? And then the animal. So there are, according to the Chinese zodiac, there are 12 animals, and each animal represents a year, and that's why every 12 years the animal repeats. For example, this year is the year of the tiger. 2010 was also the year of the tiger. So every 10 year not sorry 10 12 years the animal repeats in the zodiac cycle, unlike the standard zodiacs, which is every month. Here it is every year. So those are some things that I kind of learned while we were in China a few years back. Anyway, so here I've finished, completed all the coloring, and I went ahead and fussy cut these images. Now there is a coordinating die available. I did not have it at hand, so I just went ahead and fussy cut it. And then I'm taking this Crafty Meraki para die, and I'm going to cut that using some gold glitter cardstock because I want to use this in place of the fireworks on Chinese New Year. It's a very big thing in China to have a lot of fireworks. So anyway, I wanted to represent that fireworks using these little flowers here, which to me look like fireworks, like a firework in the sky. Anyway, so all I did is I die cut that, and I just snipped away that stem of the flower, and then I took this large slimline embossing embossing die here, and I went ahead and embossed it onto a white cardstock. Now the same embossing die that you see in slimline, Crafty Meraki has it now in the standard 4 1/4 by 5 size as well, so it's much easier for smaller cardstocks. And here I went ahead and then I trimmed that white piece shorter to fit into my 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 red card base. I'm taking some gold watercolor paint here. It's metallic paint, and I'm just diluting it with some water, and I'm going to splatter that onto that white cardstock panel. You can see my gold metallic paint is almost done because I do use it quite often. I love to splatter my projects with gold metallic ink. Anyway, moving on to the project again. Here I've taken 2 sentiments from that same stamp set, which I have stamped onto white cardstock using black ink. And this stamp set is called, the stamp reads, sentiment reads, Happy New Year. May this be your best year yet. And then all I'm going to do is start placing these elements onto this panel that we have created using that embossing die. And I just sped this video here of me just putting them. So I added a few elements using some foam adhesive and a couple of the elements just using regular glue. And you'll see after I add the foam adhesive, I like to add some liquid glue. I do add quite a bit of liquid glue, and the reason for that is because it always helps me, or rather it gives me some time to move things around. And you will see here in a while I do move my all the elements a little more higher because I felt like I was too low at the bottom and I couldn't add those lanterns without them popping out. And you'll see here, right here, I realized that that didn't work. So here I'm just lifting it up a bit, and you can see because I had that liquid adhesive behind it, it had not quite yet stuck to my card base or to the cardstock, and so that way I could just move it. And that liquid adhesive that I'm using is it dries up clear, so it didn't matter it leaving any residue onto my cardstock. And again, I had not pressed it down until I was sure that that's where I wanted. And once I was done laying all that, and this is how it looks, and then I'm going to just place that onto the red cardstock. But before that, I did needed to add a few more blings, and here I'm using the Magic Crystal by Crafty Meraki as well. And I'm just going to scatter these crystals in different places onto this white panel here, which is, I think it's a little different card for me because I'm so used to making floral cards and coloring floral cards. I don't quite make critter cards, and so this is something new. And let me know what you think about the outcome of this card, and if you would like to see me doing more critter cards, let me know. Anyway, so all I'm doing right now is just taking this white panel, and I'm just going to adhere that onto this red panel just using some liquid adhesive. I'm not adding any more foam tape because I just wanted those colored elements to be the only ones that are popping off the card base and nothing else. And you can see my white piece there is a little longer than my red panel, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that off, and you see I've gone ahead and cut that using my paper trimmer, and then I'm just taking a side folding white note card and I'm tearing that entire panel onto it. My white cardstock is a little bit on the lighter side, and that's why I didn't create it as my card base rather than just an additional panel. And again, I'm adhering that using some liquid adhesive. Here is the finished card. And here are some closer looks of the card that I created. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.